Welcome, friends. I'm Andy, the storyteller. Today I have another fun adventure to share from Farmer Brown's Dinosaur Farm. So grab your favorite stuffy and find a nice quiet spot. We're about to take a trip to Farmer Brown's Dinosaur Farm. It was a bright summer day in town. The sun was shining, people were excited, and Farmer Brown could smell doughnuts in the air. He was at the grand opening of the new doughnut shop in town. It was named Dino Doughnuts, and it had a dinosaur theme because the town appreciated Farmer Brown and his farm. In front of the store, there was a sign that was a big statue of a Tyrannosaurus Rex holding a giant doughnut. Farmer Brown had brought Patty, the Apatosaurus, and Flappy, the pterodactyl, to the opening. Patty was calm as she always was, but this was Flappy's first time away from the farm. He had grown as tall as Farmer Brown, and his wingspan was almost as long as the truck. Everyone clapped as the shop owner and the mayor cut the ribbon to officially open the new donut shop. The clapping must have gotten Patty's attention, because it was right then when she noticed the big donut in the statue. If you remember, Patty has a sweet tooth. She once got away from the farm and stuck her neck through the drive-thru window of the Shake Shack. She learned how to pour milkshakes into her mouth right from the machine. Now Patty's sweet tooth wanted a bite out of the big donut in the sign. She leaned her long neck down and took a bite of the metal donut. She lifted it right off the Tyrannosaurus sign. As she held it in her mouth, she realized it was not sweet at all. It tasted yucky. The crowd and Farmer Brown watched to see what she would do next. And you guessed it, she spit it out. The large metal donut landed on its side on the road. Then it started to roll down the street. Everyone got out of the way and watched it roll by. It went down the hill and further into downtown. It passed the bus stop, the bank, and was headed right toward the sheriff's office. Deputy Rusty, Farmer Brown's friend, stood outside in the parking lot eating a donut. He was very surprised to see a giant donut heading right towards the office. He jumped out of the way as the donut bumped into the building, spun around, and came to a rest on Rusty's patrol car. Just then, Farmer Brown and the mayor came running down the hill. They had been chasing the runaway donut for 3 blocks. They were out of breath. "Let me guess," said Deputy Rusty. Patty tried to eat the giant donut in the Dino Donut sign, dropped it, and it rolled down the street. Yeah, that's it," gasped Farmer Brown, trying to catch his breath. People began to crowd around the sheriff's office and look at the giant donut on the patrol car. The mayor asked Farmer Brown if Patty could put the donut back. "I don't think so," he said. "Once she doesn't like something, she's done with it." Then he scratched his chin and thought, "But I do have an idea. But we're going to need a lot of fish." Deputy Rusty and the mayor looked at each other and shrugged. A few minutes later, Farmer Brown pulled his truck into the fish market. As he was backing it up, he heard a very familiar voice. "Hey, Farmer Brown." It was Taylor. If you remember, Taylor worked at the Shake Shack and was the one who helped Patty get back home. Farmer Brown was surprised to see him working at the fish market. "Yeah, I had to leave the Shake Shack. There were too many rules about not putting birthday cake in the deep fryer." Farmer Brown paused to think about that. "Well," said Farmer Brown, "I need your help again." "Do you need a deep-fried birthday cake?" asked Taylor. "No," said Farmer Brown. "I need a truckload of fish." Moments later, Farmer Brown drove away from the fish market with a truck bed full of fish and headed back to the giant donut. As he pulled up, he could see the other part of his plan was working. Deputy Rusty and the mayor stood with Flappy, who was perched on top of the giant donut. Flappy seemed very happy to be surrounded by people who were giving him attention. "All right," said Farmer Brown. Let's see if this works. The smell of the fish hit Flappy's nose. He began to flap his wings with excitement. He lifted the doughnut off the patrol car and began to fly. This is exactly what Farmer Brown wanted. He slowly drove his truck up the street toward the doughnut shop. Flappy wasn't going very fast or very high. Everyone followed behind Flappy, cheering him on. It was the strangest parade you'd ever seen. As they approached Dino Donuts, Farmer Brown drove the truck toward the other side of the sign. Just as he wanted, Flappy came right up to it. Farmer Brown hopped up on the roof of his truck and waved for Flappy to put the giant donut back into the hands of the Tyrannosaurus. He did it perfectly, and everyone cheered. Flappy swooped down from the sign and began to eat the fish in the back of Farmer Brown's truck. Everyone was happy that the sign was fixed. Now, when you visit Dino Donuts, there's a fun sign with a Tyrannosaurus Rex holding a giant donut that has teeth marks. And now you know how the teeth marks got there. The end. I hope you enjoyed this story. Here are some dinosaur facts. Pterodactyl is actually a generic word many people use to refer to two famous flying creatures of the Mesozoic era, the pterodon and the pterodactylus. That means there isn't actually a creature called a pterodactyl. It's either the pterodon or the pterodactylus. So I learned something new today, and I hope you did too. Today's episode is also a read-along video on YouTube. You can read along with me as I read today's adventure. Subscribe to Farmer Brown's Dinosaur Farm on YouTube so you don't miss a new story. We'd love to know what you think of our show. Follow us on Facebook and let us know. Just search for Farmer Brown's Dinosaur Farm. If you would like to send us a letter, email us at farmerbrowndinos@gmail.com. This show is sponsored by The Secure Dad. Parents can learn new ways to live safer, happier lives at thesecuredad.com.